Alright guys, MTech Guy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the E60 M5 because I've had a fault code that's popped up. Now, you know me, I don't like any outstanding fault codes, so we're going to get this one sorted out today. Now that fault code being 9D12. Which relates to the alarm system, specifically to the Siren module, which lives over in the back there behind the rear bumper to the right hand side. Now this little Siren module contains two batteries, and the purpose of them batteries is to provide a fail-safe, a backup, in case your main 12 volt battery fails, the alarm will still go off. So if someone's disconnected the power, or if your battery's just failed, if the car's been parked up for a long time, someone comes and tries to steal your car, that alarm's still going to go off. So really cool little feature. But of course, this vehicle being 17 years old now, them batteries have long failed, so we're going to get them changed out today. Now fortunately, this being a really early E60 M5, a 2005 model, the batteries are actually serviceable, so we can separate that Siren module, remove the batteries, reinsert some new ones, and then it all seals up together. You bolt it together and it's got a little rubber gasket there, keeps the moisture out. Now if you have an E60 that was built from September 2006 onwards, unfortunately the Siren module isn't serviceable like this. It's fully sealed. Now you might get away with cutting it open, replacing the batteries, but you're going to struggle to seal it up properly again, so you'll be looking at replacing the whole module, which you can still buy from BMW, but if you're fortunate to have one that was built before September 2006, you can replace the batteries. So either way, whichever one you're doing, you can still use this video as a DIY how to access the module, change it out, and of course we're going to go a little bit further, this being an earlier model, with changing the batteries out themselves. So next up we'll take a look at which batteries we're going to need to get the job done, and then after that we'll pull the rear bumper off and we'll get into it. Alright guys, so here we have the batteries that we're going to be putting in our Siren module today. Now these are a CR123A. I've gone for the Panasonic brand, so they're going to be a decent set of batteries that should last a reasonable amount of time. Now I'm pretty sure the originals were Panasonics from the factory, but we'll see once we get that little Siren module opened up today. Now with the car being 17 years old, there is a good chance that the old batteries could have leaked. They could have caused a little bit of corrosion inside the module there, so it is worth having a tin of electrical contact cleaner, because you might have to do a bit of cleaning up before we insert the new batteries. But again, we'll see what it looks like once we get that thing cracked open, and of course you're going to need two of these. Right, let's pull the rear bumper off and get into the job. Right, so the Siren module lives behind the rear bumper on the right hand side here, so we'll start off by removing the rear bumper. Now in this video I won't get too in depth on each single step on the rear bumper removal, because I have done a previous video on this before, so what I'll do is I'll leave a link to that video at the top of the screen here. So we'll get this rear bumper out of the way first, and then we'll take a look at the Siren module. So on the edge of the bumper here, at the wheel arch liner, we have 4 screws that take an 8mm socket, and then there's the plastic clip that goes in underneath. And of course, same on the other side. Then on the inside of the boot, we have 2 screws on either side holding this section in that take a T30 Torx. And then if we take a look underneath here, there's another 4 screws holding the underside of the diffuser in there, and they take an 8mm socket. And then next up, you want to grab the edge of the bumper here, where the wheel arch is, just give it a pull, and that'll just pop out 2 or 3 clips here. Same on the other side. And now we're ready to remove the bumper away from the car, and it is worth putting something soft down like a blanket to be able to position the bumper on once it's away from the car, just so you don't scratch up all your paintwork. And before you get too carried away pulling it away from the vehicle, just remember there's an electrical connector over on the right hand side there behind the bumper for your parking sensors. So just pull it so far away from the vehicle, disconnect that, and then you can position it on the ground there out the way. Alright, so now that we have the rear bumper out of the way, we can now gain access to our Siren module, which lives behind this triangle shaped piece of plastic here. So there's 4 screws holding this one on, 3 at the top that take an 8mm socket, and 1 down the bottom that takes a 10mm socket. So we'll remove that now, and then as you pull that away from the vehicle, there is another electrical connector to disconnect for the Siren module itself. There's also a plastic clip holding it here, which is removed from the inside of the wheel arch there. Right, so now that we have the plastic triangle piece removed from the car, we can now gain access to our Siren module, which is this unit here. Now this is mounted to the plastic triangle piece with a 10mm nut there, and then there's also a clip here just to pop off out of the way with a flat blade screwdriver. Now we can feed that off the plastic mounting piece. So that's the Siren module now removed, and we can now gain access to the batteries inside. But before we do so, I think I'm going to give this a bit of a clean up. It's got pretty filthy jammed in behind the bumper there. Alright, so there we go, that's looking a lot better now, nice and clean, and now that Siren's not full of muck, we might actually be able to hear the thing go off. But anyhow, next step, we're going to remove these 4 screws using a number 1 Phillips screwdriver. And now we can separate the 2 halves, just carefully, because this does have a connection there to the speaker, so you don't want to go pulling them too far apart and breaking any wires. Now then, behind this little door here is where our batteries live. So there we go, that's what we came for, the 2 18-year-old batteries that have only just started failing. Pretty good lifespan out of them ones, so we'll get them changed out now. And it is looking pretty clean in there, no corrosion, so this little orange seal has done a good job over the years. And these new batteries we've got here are identical to the old ones. Put the lid back on that one. And now we can put the 2 halves back together. Just make sure you don't disrupt this orange seal as they go back together. You don't want to dislodge it, cause a leak. Put the 4 screws back in. So there we go, that's the Siren module back together now, and hopefully them batteries will last a good 18 years again. So now we can refit this back to our plastic triangle piece. Right, so we're going to seat this section here in that groove there. Just like that. Then we'll refit the nut that takes a 10mm socket. And then to fully seat the module, we're going to reattach this small plastic clip here. There we go, hear the positive snap. And if you take a look down there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, there's just a little edge under there, a little notch it sits on, so it doesn't sit straight up inside the Siren there, just on the edge like that. Now we can refit this back to the car. Right, so that's that back in place, and of course when you do come to refit this plastic piece, just remember to reconnect your electrical connector for the Siren module. So now we can refit the rear bumper. Right, that's the rear bumper back in position. Rightio, so now that's all back together with a fresh set of batteries. We'll rescan the car and see if we've got rid of that fault code. So there's our fault code, so we'll delete that one. I'll give it a rescan and see if it's gone. Right, so I've given that a rescan, and as you can see, no faults now, so that looks like it's happy with the new batteries. Alright guys, so there we have it, that's that little job taken care of, and hopefully now that that Siren module has them fresh set of batteries in there, it's going to help out in my M5 not getting stolen anytime soon. Now if you found the video interesting or useful, don't forget to give it a like. Make sure you go and check out the rest of my YouTube channel for more BMW M5 DIY videos. Consider subscribing if that's your cup of tea. I'm MTech Guy, thanks a lot for watching.